Good evening, everyone. Welcome to session 10 of Vaesen Beneath the Masks. Yes, we have made 10. I like it. We're joined once again by Sharon, Blake, and Jim. And as Blake said, just on my little Discord, no one has died yet. Believe me, sir, I am trying. I'm trying very hard. Well, some NPCs have died in the making of this story, but you know, the way it rolls sometimes. Anyway, last we left it, Jim, Dr. Theodore Bennett, had just completed his autopsy, and you were heading, remind me,
To the scene of the crime, I believe.
to the scene of the crime, and dusk is now falling. It's almost dinner time now. Blake, your character was there. 17 or was in this area as well.
Yeah, but I think the attack incident, whatever happened early in the morning. So I might
It
as well
did.
go back to the villa first for a couple of hours, grab some food, fortify myself, and then come back out and get murdered.
Good. That's the plan. Agatha, your character had been to church, didn't get smited, but felt very woozy.
Yes, is going to have a cup of tea of Bex and a good lie down.
Yeah. So you're heading back to the villa?
Yeah, back to the villa.
Okay. So, Jim, we might as well start with you because Agatha and Severino are making their way back to the villa like ordinary people. You've decided to hang out at the scene of the crime. And as I said, dusk is falling. It's starting to get a little dark. The smells of food, pasta and sauce and frying meat, coteletti, and it just fills the air as everyone's making their dinner, and you can hear chatter and the low murmur of laughter and wine glasses chinking because people are having their meals.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, just thinking it might make more sense to reconvene with the others to see if they've come up with anything in the meantime. Other than so he'll probably just stroll past, the scene, but not really do anything too severe there. Yeah, as long as nothing stands out to him, he'll probably just carry on to the villa, I think.
So you walk past the scene, you know it well, you were there for a little while. Life goes on. There's no passage of Aldor's passing except for a couple wilted daisies on the floor and by the pier, and that's it. It's people are just going on about their business as usual. There's nothing creepy, there's no sense of eeriness here, there's nothing untoward.
Yeah, I'll head back to the villa.
Sure. So yeah, you head back to the villa. All three of you, to a degree, intersect. You kind of all rock up at the door within minutes of each other. How very convenient. Given the time, your dinner is on the stove and Artemisia's got it sorted. She'll have it ready for you in a few minutes. Her grandfather is there as well. He's just shuffling around. He's looking a bit, let's just say a little bit ginger. He's shuffling around with a cane. It's getting colder now. Things are starting to ache a little bit. And he sees you as you walk in and smiles. You've arrived. Very good. Adelaide just left half an hour ago. She was sad that she missed you. She did say she had something for you. Un momento. And he shuffles over to a credenza, picks up a book, and inside the book you see a slip of paper, and he hands it to one of you. He goes, she said she found this and it would be of interest for you. It might help you with this mystery. Anyway, you can read it later. Dinner first, huh?
Dr. Bennett will take that and also sort of come up to speed because he wasn't actually there when Adelaide said she was leaving. And yeah, I think he's definitely gunning for a cup of tea anyway. And then yeah, he will is it a book or a letter?
The leather-bound book. It's not quite A4, but bigger than A5. It has some words embossed on the cover, and it's called The Aquatic Legends of Venice.
No idea Lady Adelaide was such a vivid reader. Okay. Yeah, I would yeah, Dr. Bennett would definitely be sort of he'd have his notebook there and this leather tome next to him, and he'd start flipping through it. Yeah, flashbacks to the old medical school studying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Vittorio's going to look at you and scowl. Eat first. You're too skinny. Eat.
Sure, yeah, I can multitask, and he will very undoctorly, just start like blindly feeling for the food as he sort of like puts it to his mouth as he's reading on the.
Vittorio looks at you. He's aghast, and he goes, "No, via. Put that away.
What?
You at the table. You talk."
Sort of. Is this some kind of humorous joke thing?
Yeah. No, this isn't
I
a
think he's
humorous
saying
joke thing.
Mealtime is talk time, family time, not work time. I think it's what he's trying to say.
Correct, Severino. See? Good boy. You know how this works.
Dr. Bennett sort of sighs and pinches his nose and goes, very well, very well. And he puts the tome aside.
Come, sit down, Signora Agatha. Do you want some wine?
Tea, please.
He looks at you again. Yeah? As in, really?
I'm afraid I do have a little bit of a headache. No wine. Perhaps a little sherry after supper.
Artemisia sweeps in and pats her granddad on the shoulder as she looks in. Shh. Not everyone wants to drink wine, goodness sakes. And she will plop a carafe of wine down, but she'll go and fetch you some water as well. And she will fetch you some tea, Dr. Bennett.
I'll say to her, some hot tea for your grandfather too. You can sit with us if you want, Vittorio.
Thank you. I shall. I got the newspaper for today. I'll give that to you. Maybe over coffee tonight. And let's eat. It's just a good old-fashioned meal of pasta and ragu. Keep it simple. It's good. It's hearty. It'll fill you up.
I think Dr. Bennett goes to speak and then hesitates and then looks and goes, are we allowed to discuss work?
See. Talk.
Just trying to make
Just
sure I understand the rules very well. And he sort of looks hopefully to the others. Was there any luck looking into
the other gondoliers were surprised. The victim was a fit and active person who could swim well. It's like, really, that of all people that would die would be that one? It was, yeah.
Yeah, there was nothing I could find, nor the Dr. Mano, the other doctor on call during the autopsy, seemed like a fine chap. Neither of us could find anything suspicious, unfortunately. And you can probably tell, like, I think Dr. Bennett's starting to doubt if there is anything to this, because we kind of, all we have is this weird spidey sense to go off of if there's anything actually suspicious about this. So yeah, he's like, nothing strange, I don't know. he's like grasping like no strange sigils or history of curses or
Certainly not that we saw in the area, and I'll sort of look at Agatha.
He was not a local to the parish. We have organized to call upon his mother in the morning to make a donation towards her bereavement.
right. Yes. Yes. Perhaps if the Lady Adelaide's gift doesn't shine some light, or there are no other particular leads. Yes, perhaps this one was, a mistake, a simple, unfortunate accident.
Who knows? Could be. May not be. I don't know. Actually, I do know. You'll find out. So, you have dinner. Yeah, you guys all have a chat and you talk and you theorize and you put down your phones and you spend eye contact and time with each other. and the dinner rolls around and Artemisia gives you a big tray of coffee and tea and biscuits for your repast. And then Vittorio stands up. Lady, gentlemen, time for me to go to bed. Good night.
Thank you for your
Yes,
hospitality
good night.
and your company. Sleep well.
And to you. And he toddles off into the kitchen and into his rooms. And Artemisia starts cleaning up. So your time now is yours.
Straight to that book. So the Venice just like ready to like leap out of the chair by the time.
I can see it. That's the problem. I can bloody well see it. Okay. So you pick up this book. It's a brown leather, faded, cracked and worn. The gilt lettering on it, the Aquatics Legend of Venice. It's there. You can see where it's been embossed. It has been worn away slightly. And as you leaf through it, it's quite an old book. It's probably, 150 years old. And give me a learning roll as you flick through the book. Yes, Adelaide has marked it, but you still need to go through the book because it's just not one page that's relevant to you.
2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. So the book is interesting. It's a compilation and a treaty, a philosophical discussion, if you will, of legends and myths attributed to drownings within Venice itself. It almost reads like a cross between the mythological and a ghost story, if it will, but it's a compilation of it. So some stories are nothing more than 2 or 3 paragraphs, like a little throwaway comment. Other stories are several pages long with a discussion. There might be references to history. It's all sorts of, it's a bit of a melange of things. So it's not really well formatted. It's like someone's just put their ideas down into a book without any sort of overarching editorial process, but here it is. So as you start to flick through the book, some elements of the stories kind of draw your attention. So, as I said, Venice itself is crawling with its own particular mythologies and ghost stories. For example, it speaks about the myth of Giuseppina Carabello, who was a 4-year-old child who had been in a gondola. When on a foggy night, that gondola collided with a small boat in the lagoon, and several people that were on those boats drowned, including Giuseppina. There is a legend that says if you see a small floating coffin with 4 candles burning on its lid, it's Giuseppina who shows herself to avoid another ship's collision. There's another legend, the legend of Tosca, who was a wet and bedraggled bride. She wanders around looking for the missing finger of her hand. Legend had it that she was betrothed to marry a much older and richer nobleman. But as the way fairy tales usually evolve, she instead fell in love with a young hunter and fled to Venice with him. The jilted nobleman found the lovers there. He killed the hunter and cut off Tosca's ring finger. In anguish, she threw herself into the canal and drowned in September 1379 and has been haunting the area ever since. In 1589, Fosco Lorden murdered his wife Elena Grimaldi, a niece of the Doge of Venice, in a fit of jealousy. One night, convinced that Elena had betrayed him with another man, and in an utter rage, Fosco Loredan drew his sword and beheaded Elena right in St. Marcos Square, in front of her own uncle. The Doge wanted to execute him, but couldn't, as the laws justified that a betrayed husband could execute his wife for infidelity. Instead, the Doge forced Lorden to travel to Rome, carrying the body of his wife to seek forgiveness from the Pope. Pope Clement VIII refused to see him. Fosco had to return to Venice, still carrying the body of his wife, and out of desperation threw himself into the Grand Canal. You keep flicking through the pages. On foggy nights around St. Michael's Cemetery, you will see the coffin of Giuseppina Carmelo in the lagoon. There's another little snippet. In fact, this one's scribbled in the margin. Tosca was drowned around Campo Street, San Pietro, and her ghost haunts the area. And lastly, the ghost of Elena Grimaldi appears on the nights of the full moon when the northern wind blows. Usually she appears at Campiello di Rem, but really could be anywhere along the Grand Canal or its main tributaries. Anyway, so that's the book.
Did we have any weapons? Like, did we uncover any weapons when we first explored the villa?
You do have an armory.
Right. I just thought something iron, something silver might be nice, just in case.
For werewolves and yeah.
Whatever. I'm just hedging my bets. I thought, had on both, that should cover most things.
Sure.
I want to increase the chance that something else, yeah, it's immune to something else. All right.
Yep. So in the armory, you don't have the greatest, latest weapons, but you do have your stock standard, ordinary stuff. You've got knives, the various sizes. There's a couple swords in there. There's a couple of pistols, a revolver, a couple of rifles as well. Like nothing great, but totally serviceable, in good nick, will do the job.
So should we say a silver knife and a pistol with like iron pellets?
Okay, update your character sheet. Okay.
Yeah, this is definitely a moment where Dr. Bennett is like, how did I get here? How is this what I'm doing in my evenings?
Yeah, what's this got to do with that?
But he's also pretty determined gentleman. These are the areas mentioned: St. Michael's Cemetery, Campo St. Pietro, and the Campiello del Rem.
Yep.
Are any of them near where
you are?
But where we are, but also where what's his name was found? Aldo Dorsey.
Yeah. Well, the cimitero, the cemetery, is actually not in the middle of the lagoon, but it's actually in the lagoon itself. So think of the Venice as the shoreline. the actual cemetery is in the lagoon. It's not far, but you need to get a boat to get there. And it's this tiny little thing with big walls around it. If you go for a little sail across the lagoon, they'll take you there quite happily.
Well, that sounds horrific.
And the other two locations are just streets in Venice. Well, you're pretty central where you are situated. So the one off the San Marco Square, so that's the Campiello del Reme. It's off the canal that feeds into San Marco Square, or goes past San Marco Square, but it's off a tributary off that. So it's kind of in the ballpark. And same with that other place, Campo San Pietro. That's near St. Peter's Church. So that's, yeah, it's a block. They're two separate locations though. So.
Okay. I think, yeah, Dr. Bennett will, well, I guess what depends on what the other two are currently doing when he sort of finishes reading through the book.
I could go across the lagoon if you want to patrol the canal.
Yeah, say no more. Dr. Bennett is very happy to not be the one going to the lagoon.
Agatha is going to bed.
Yes, I was going to say she probably looks quite out of it. So.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to go to bed and get some rest and hopefully recover some stress. Or you could pray and help recover.
Yeah.
There's a chap.
She is going to go to the house chapel and do some praying, and then yes.
Get some rest.
Yes.
Yep. No, that's fine. You look after your character and get some dice back. All right, gentlemen. What are we doing? Remind me.
I'm going to patrol the canal, and the doctor's going to go across the lagoon.
No.
Blake, let's work with you. So, you're going to head out back into the streets?
Yep.
In the small hours of the morning?
Yeah. Oh, you know, I might go at like 9 or 10.
9 or 10?
I think once the sun's gone down for a while, it'll be fine. I don't think that should do.
Sure.
And I'll see if I can take a little gondola, a little boat across the lagoon. I'm sure it'll be fine.
It's not just gondolas. You can get a little ketch. There could be a little boat. Yeah.
Little rowboat or something.
Little rowboat. That's it. Just.
All right.
You jump in your rowboat. And
my weapons on me inside my coat, and my heavy warm coat. It's going to make me swim not well if I go overboard, but at least it'll keep me warm.
Sure, because that's what you need to be warm while you're drowning.
Yeah, I'll have a look and listen around. Occasionally, I'll sort of paddle around, and I'll stop and listen every now and then and look and trying to get a vibe for it all.
Sure. Well, you've been here long enough. You actually know where the cemetery is, so you start to row your way across the lagoon towards the cemetery, and it's night. It's well and truly night. The moon is overhead. It's bright. There's certainly enough light to see by at this time.
Okay.
A little bit of fog, just kind of normally across the waves, but not much.
Okay.
And yeah, you make your way across.
Nervous, but not scared. But yeah, just every now and then I'll stop and listen and look around and
give me an observation.
Skills.
You see nothing. Nope, it's fine. So you're out there. It's quiet. Most people aren't out fishing or boating at this time of night, so it's actually really quiet and sedate, and it's peaceful. It's really actually rather nice. There's no one out here to disturb you. You've got your own space. Not even the ghosts can, I'm bothering you today. It's great.
Okay. How does Umbra feel about it all?
Umbra, you get this image in your mind's eye of Umbra sitting in the back of a gondola, hands over the gunwales, fingers dragging through the water. He's got a hat down over his hair, just chilling. Even Umbra's relaxed.
Okay.
He's happy.
That could be a good sign. That might not be. Okay. I'll take my time going back. And, yeah, maybe I do a bit of a lap of the lagoon and then head back.
Well, the lagoon's pretty big. It'll still take you a couple of hours, but yeah, you can.
So, I mean, I'll head back to where the incident happened. But yeah,
Sure.
it'll be 2 or 3 hours.
Yep, and that's fine because it'll be almost midnight, maybe past midnight by that point. So that's perfectly fine. Dr. Bennett.
Yes. So, for some reason I had it in my head that I had an old gun, but I may be thinking of a completely different character in a completely different tabletop game. Look at my sheet. I do not have any kind of weaponry, which is fine. I just think he's just gonna go for a late night wander, sort of in those areas, sort of like heading towards, maybe like from where it happened, sort of heading towards those like named places, kind of thing, just following that river. I don't know what those canals, and not looking at any dancing lights in the water and falling in myself, basically. Sure.
Yep, so you're walking the streets, and you walk in the streets for a couple of hours as well, and well, it was initially not crowdy, but 10 o'clock, people are still a little bit out and about, but it is winding down fairly quickly. This isn't, the height of the nightlife, if you will. So within an hour or so, it's just you out in the streets and a couple of little prostitutes running around. Who else is running around? So you're there. Prostitutes are out and about plying their wares. Of course, you're going to have their customers also out and about a little bit. You have the occasional drunk that's wandering around. Local carabinieri, a couple of them will be floating around here and there. But again, the city's quietened down for the night. It's sedate, it's calm. There's just a low level flow.
Are there any ladies of the night near where that man drowned? Like, I mean, or even that are in that sort of area in general?
There is. There is.
Dr. Bennett's not going to be good at this. Dr. Bennett is going to approach. Excuse me, ma'am.
Sure. Give me a sec, because I'm not going to be good at this either. All right, let's do this. And this lady, as I flick my pigtails back, this lady goes, you talking to me? She goes, oh, you're a cute one, aren't you? And a foreigner too. And she gives you, a flick of her hair, and she poses with her hands on her hip like a little coquette. Oh, I like the exotic ones.
And he's like Dr. Theodore Bennett, and he sort of like puts out a hand.
Oh my dear, God is merciful today. And she puts her hand in your hand. Oh, I feel like a lady.
Your name?
Maria.
Maria, okay. Lady Maria, do you often work in this area? You're often out here of an evening?
Well, signore, you must do what she must do, huh? But you know where to find me.
Yes,
Anytime.
like, I'm actually just interested in some information, but don't. I assure you. And he'll reach out for his wallet, whatever the finance, the money holder in this time would be. And like he has no idea what currency, like what level of currency to give. So he probably either like really overspends. Like he probably like pulls out one note and then goes, no, that's two, or maybe three, or like coins or whatever. And says, yeah, a gentleman had an unfortunate accident just yesterday. I think this morning. I can't remember.
Yesterday, you mean night? So let's just say
Yeah,
yesterday morning.
Yesterday. Have you heard anything about that?
Initially, when you go to her, I just want information. The look on her face she drops. Oh man, there goes my payday.
Yeah.
But you started giving her cash. You gave her a lot of cash. All of a sudden, you're her knight in shining armor. Of course I can help you. Yes, information. Okay, what do you want? What do you want to know? I can tell you anything.
Did you know the gentleman that?
Oh, goodness no.
No, he was a gondolier.
I don't even know what they're called.
Yeah.
A gondola. For the life of me, I can't remember what it is at the moment.
You never.
Aldo Tossi. Well, not me personally. But young man, virile as he is, I have no doubt. In fact, I know he's tapped a few of my friends.
Really? But you yourself don't know anything about him.
Well, I didn't get to have the pleasure of his acquaintance.
Would these friends of yours be working this evening?
Yes, but no. Maybe I can help you with something else. Is there anything I can help you with?
Were you, I guess, have you ever seen anything unusual? You must see quite a lot. And I think yeah.
I did see something unusual. Actually, just last night. And she stretches her hand out and wiggles her fingers.
Oh my god, I thought she liked me. What? You only care about the money? Can I do a check to at least figure out if she's like actually has information or if she's just stringing me along?
Yes, you can. Give me an empathy.
Just empathy or observation? I mean, it doesn't actually matter. It's the same. Vigilance?
It's not quite. Let's go empathy and we'll go from that.
Alright, this isn't going to go well.
You want to push that?
Oh, why not?
Don't.
Bennett! I knew this wasn't going to go well.
She's like, no, I did. You know what? I'll tell you anyway. She's so cute. They looked after me. Look, I didn't actually see Aldo die. He just... Yeah. But yesterday night, was it yesterday night? Yesterday morning. So I know it's about 3 o'clock. I heard the bells go. It's definitely 3 and before 4. I thought the water was sparkling blue. I saw the water in the canal. It sparkled blue. I'd never seen it. It was so beautiful. So beautiful. And I also heard the sound of a woman crying. But it was like smoke on the air. It just disappeared. I could just hear an echo of it. I don't know if it was someone crying and it was just echoing off the buildings. I don't know. I couldn't find anyone though.
Okay. Do you put any stock into? I mean, you frequent this area at times like this. Do you? I'm aware of a lot of ghost stories. About spirits that haunt these waters. Is that anything you and all the other ladies put any stock into?
We are God-fearing bunch of people, but God doesn't have all the answers. We see things at night. We can't explain it. But there are things out here that live alongside us. We just don't know what they are. But come, why are we talking about such trivial matters? Come on, come with me. I'll show you a good time. I'll show you a very good time. Yeah, come here.
It's actually a little bit. No, that's quite.
Quite right. She starts to keep encroaching you, and she starts to pull at your coats and unbutton.
I roll close combat. No, then we go, no, that's quite alright. You've very much earned the coin. Thank you for your patience and for your enlightening information.
She pouts and you break my heart.
Oh no, that's not. And then he just turns around and starts walking away, trying to disengage as desperately as possible.
You're no Casanova.
Yeah.
Come and find me next time. After payday.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's now after midnight, and Severino, you've been for your jaunt around the lagoon. You're back on Venice now?
Yep, wander back there where the incident happened, see if I can find the doctor, if he's still there.
I think that's
you probably see him doing up a button that makes him look.
You're right, doctor? Do you have to go for a run or something?
No, no, nothing. It's just canvassing the area.
Okay. Any leads?
Yes, potentially. Spoke to a woman who mentioned that during the time of Aldo's drowning, she noticed the water sparkling blue. Based off the way she spoke about it, it sounded, more than just a trick of the light. And she also claims to hear a woman crying that she couldn't pinpoint.
Okay. Well, we can recheck, the legends and stuff, see if either of those crop up.
Yes, normally I wouldn't put much stock in any of that, but given what we're doing here, it's worth a second.
Hey, Severino, give me an observation, please.
Observation.
Oh, that lipstick on my collar? That's nothing. Don't worry about
that. One success.
So, as you're sitting or standing by Dr. Bennett, and as he's trying to adjust himself and put himself all back together, the faint whiff of lavender comes across your senses. And you know well and truly that lavender is used by prostitutes as a sign of their profession.
I look around and thinking, there's one following us or something because I'm paranoid.
Well, we shouldn't carry any longer here. We should head back. I'm sure. Yeah, we should head back.
I think we're being followed by prostitutes. Can you smell them?
I don't know what they smell like, so
That lavender stuff. Yeah. All right, let's go quick.
They're organising. They're after us.
yeah.
Yep, cool. So you cut through the streets of Venice and you make your way back to the villa, or you're gonna just keep walking.
Yeah.
Is there one of the other places from the legends we haven't been that's sort of nearby? Yeah, Laura. Extensive notes, carefully typed out.
Oh yeah, so Dr. Bennett would have asked, how did your scouting of the lagoon go?
Eerily quiet and peaceful, I have to say. Kind of fortunate and kind of disappointing because it didn't lead to anything.
Was it? What was it? Foggy?
Yeah, a little bit foggy, but very quiet. There's no one else around. Good place to go if you just need to gather your thoughts, you know?
Take your word for it.
Campo San Pietro. Is that anywhere near us?
Oh, it's about 10-minute walk, 15-minute walk.
Yeah.
Sort of.
We might as well wander past there. We're already out and about and full of vigor.
That is what we like. So, absolutely, you go for a little walk. It's about 1 o'clock by now, really. And you arrive at the campo. It's deserted. There's no one out. Even the local nightlife's just not there. And all you got is the sound of water just lapping against the canal walls, boats rocking on the water. It's quiet as the grave.
I think I'll call out Tosca a couple of times, just see if there's any response.
Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice!
You have to say it while spinning in a circle.
You call out Tosca's name and you throw it out into the darkness and into the water and into the night sky of Venice. And you call that name once, twice, 3 times.
Nothing. Yeah.
But unfortunately, no response.
All right. Well, yeah. Looks like nothing supernatural happening tonight. Might as well head back to the villa.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, you go back to the villa and I presume you turn in for the night?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we'll just head back and crash.
Yep, that's perfectly fine. So you do that. You head up to bed. And honestly, it's not too long since you threw yourself down that give you a vigilance roll, all 3 of you. So Severino's a no.
Yay.
Bennett's a 2. Agatha's a 1. Okay. So Severino, you sleep through this. Agatha and Bennett, you kind of rouse from your slumber. Agatha, you're a bit groggy. Bennett, you've had many nights of night shift and dealing with shit, so you immediately wake as you hear the sound of a screaming and wailing that pierces the night sky, and it startles you awake. And as you wake up, you can hear someone pounding on the villa door. Help me, please, wake up. It's a woman. She's beating on the door of the villa, and she sounds absolutely frantic. Help me, please, wake up.
Bit groggy, but grab a candle, dressing gown, stumble down the stairs.
Yep.
Yeah, Bennett's just like got his like medical, grabbed his doctor's bag, rushing downstairs basically in his whatever he wears. I imagine like a Scrooge sort of gown.
So, Agatha, you get there first. You open the door and you see a woman. You mark her immediately as a lady of the night, but she looks at you. She's like, help me, please. My friend, she's drowning. You have to help me. Please, please. Hurry.
We'll start screaming, doctor.
I do I recognize? It's not.
No.
It's not Maria.
No, it's not Maria.
Thank goodness. She seemed to really like me. No, I will. Yes, I'm a doctor. Quick, lead the way, and then I'm out in my slippers.
Yeah.
Yeah, she runs and she goes, please help Lucia. She fell into the canal. She can't get out. Her dresses are too heavy. Help her. And she runs down alongside the canal. And she keeps looking over her shoulder, making sure that you're following her.
Yeah, I think I'd maybe be asking, like preliminary questions, like as we're running, like, has she taken any substances, like trying to get like a status or something.
Let's help her out! And I'm sure, Servadino, you would have heard the commotion and woken up in your own time.
What's going on? Oh, all right. He'll start jogging in that direction.
Yep. So Lucia will literally lead Bennett and Agatha just around a couple corners. It's not too far away. And yeah, sure enough, there's a woman in the canal. She's struggling. Her hands are clawing at the air, clawing at the water, trying to pull herself up. But the weight of her dresses just keeps pulling her down, and she just cannot. She's drowning. She's absolutely drowning.
Is she? Probably not. She's not close to the edge, right?
She's about a body length away from the edge.
Okay. Agatha will take off her robe and kind of roll it up and throw it and go, grab hold, dear.
Yeah, the woman latches onto the rolled up robe and she pulls it down with her, but you've got a handle on the other side.
Yes, it'll be like, doctor, a little help, please.
Yes, and I'll like grab onto it with her and like start trying to pull her close enough that I can get in arm's reach of her.
Yep. That's fine. So you guys are able to tow her in and you grab her arms. Can I please get force rolls from both of you, because trying to lift a woman out of the canal wearing 19th century clothing is not going to be
Agatha
easy.
is so strong.
Yeah, I'm banking on Agatha being...
Agatha rolled a success. One success. That's all she needed. Oh, hey.
No.
And she rolled none.
No help from Bennett.
All right, so Agatha, you're able to get a purchase on those cobblestones on the surface, and you've got a really good grip on this young woman, and you put your back into it, and you use your entire body weight to haul her up. Bennett, she's a bit slippery, and you really don't want to be grabbing anything like inappropriate. So you're just a little bit maybe tentative with it. But Agatha's doing an amazing job.
Agatha is used to grabbing struggling, recalcitrant little children by the scruff of the neck.
Cool. So yes, you are able to haul her out, and you'll plonk down on the side of the canal. The woman's coughing and retching as she spits up water, and she's hovering. You okay? You okay? You okay? Oh, thank you so much. Are you okay? Yeah.
Quick thinking, Miss Hartwell. Yes. Bennett sort of clears his throat, and then he'll head over and yeah, sort of help her. Probably refrain from what was her name again?
Sorry, Lucia was the woman that was drowning. Catalina was the one that came to you. So, Sabatino, you're going to be joining them by now?
Yeah. So as I approach, I can see they've got her out. I'm going to look at the water because I'm just wondering if there's any like blue spots and stuff.
Okay, give me an observation.
Stuff this one up.
No, don't stuff it up.
Nothing. I'm going to push. Damn it.
Okay.
I'm sick of failing this damn roll. One. Ta-da.
One. Ta-da! That's all you needed. You have a look at the water, and sure enough, you see this really beautiful blue glittering light just threading through it. And it's vanishing as you're watching. And the water just darkens back to normal. But the other thing that you pick up, and Theodore, you do too, there's a smell of rotting fish in this water.
In Italian, I'll say, wait, come back, talk.
No response.
Damn it.
Yeah, I'm gonna focus on the lady. The once she's like finished coughing up. I'd be like, what in the devil were you doing? How did you end up in the water? Yeah. How did you end up in the water?
I saw someone. I thought someone was in the water, and I tried to help them out. She'd been crying.
So you saw a woman in the water.
Yes.
Can you describe her at all?
Oh, she was beautiful. Red hair. It's just red hair. Couldn't even see her eyes. But she was very beautiful. Very sad. I'd never seen her before. But then she pulled me in. I went to help her and she pulled me in and tried to drown me. If you hadn't come when you'd come, I'd be dead.
Well, yes, you've got your friend here to thank for that. And I'll turn to her and say, because how far did we run to get here?
Couple blocks, not far.
But far enough that it's like, why? Like, I'll say to her, like, why did you come to our door?
That's why I knew who you were. I knew about the villa. There are stories about what you do. And some of us remember them.
Very quick thinking. Yes, you definitely saved your friend's life. I didn't see the sparkling. I just smelled the fish.
Just caught a whiff of it.
Yeah.
Just because you're familiar with it already.
Yeah.
And as you all are standing there, you hear whistles and the sound of running footsteps approaching in your direction.
Scram!
And sure enough, around the corner comes 4 carabinieri, rifles in arms, and they're running, and they've got their whistles in their mouths, and they see you. Stop right there. They kind of draw to a stop in front of you, and they look at the 2 women and the 3 of you. What's going on here? We had reports that someone had been attacked. Well, talk.
This young woman here came to tell us, as the closest domicile, that there was a young woman drowning in the canal. So, of course, our household rushed to assist.
How did she get in the water? Signora, you okay? What happened? And they do. 2 of them will go converse with her. 2 of them will look at you 3, and they're particularly eyeballing the good doctor and Severino. So what really happened, huh? She get a little bit fresh? And you threw her in the water? Is that what happened?
And he does all the best British blustering that you can do. Like, how dare you!
And Agatha is standing there in a sodden robe, having
I know.
pulled it around her.
I'm full on Scrooge in here, and he's.
And she's
accusing
like,
me.
young man, do you not think perhaps that we should have this in a more civilized location? I am, after all, rather wet after having assisted to pull this young lady from the canal.
He looks at you. You can go back home, ma'am. And warm up. I would want to speak to these two gentlemen. Would you like an escort? I'll have one of my men walk you back.
It's like, no, I would like my manservant here, and she points to Severino. It's my nephew
Of course.
to return with me.
Give me persuasion, all three of you. I want to see if you can
Oh.
carry this.
There's
Manipulation?
manipulation.
Oh, sorry, manipulation.
What? Oh my god. This dice roller hates me.
Stay.
All right, so Agatha gets one.
No.
No,
No, I haven't rolled yet because it was messing up there.
Severino got one. Bennett didn't, and Agatha got two. Okay. So, Agatha, you were able to carry the lie. Not really. You stretched it, but yes, you kind of pull out the matron and you throw the book at this Carabinieri, and from 1 minute where he is trying to gain control, but trying to skewer Severino and Bennett with his own suspicions, you go there and kneecap him and then beat him over the head with a sodden fish, and all of a sudden he's like, he looks at you, you've got his complete and undivided attention. You say that is your manservant and your nephew. And he looks at you, Bennett, as you're doing your very English. All right, stay there. And he will go and speak to a couple of his other colleagues who has been speaking with Lucia Carolina. And after a few moments of conferring, he returns back to you looking somewhat sheepish and goes, very well, Signora. You and your manservant and nephew may leave. We know where you are. If we have any further questions, please don't leave town.
I just like, grassy, and just sort of stand behind Agatha.
As now, if you do not mind, we shall take the young lady and have her taken care of and tidied up, and start dragging the two women. No, he's not going to let us?
Absolutely not. No. Sorry, Senora, we need to speak to these ladies. We'll take you to the hospital and have the doctors there look after them. And we need to ask what happened. I'm sure once they're free.
You take care that you do treat them with proper respect, young man. They've had a very trying night.
Of course, Senora.
Bennett picks up his doctor's bag like a child taking his toy and going home. follows behind.
Well, screw you then. Yep, so cool. You guys head back to the Fanelaria.
As soon as we get inside, I think Bennett's like, well, I think we can confirm that we are dealing with something. Did anyone else smell that? That was precisely what I smelled on the young man's breath when I pulled him from the water yesterday.
I I didn't smell it, but I did see the blue sparkling water, which sort of dissipated, which is odd. It's definitely, it was not a reflection of the moonlight or anything like that. And I haven't had any alcohol, so it's not that.
The young lady did not end up in the canal of her own volition.
No. I mean, this sort of goes along with some of the stories that I read in Lady Adelaide's book. I mean, obviously, none of these stories went so far as to describe the color of any of these women's hair. But I don't think Dr. Bennett could go to sleep like right after that. So I think he's gonna do some midnight research.
Cool. You nerd.
Severino used to be in the army, so he can happily go to sleep at the drop of a hat.
You can.
He's like, oh, everyone's back home safe? Cool. Night.
Good man. That's it. That is it. Well, do you know what? I think it's a great time to end this session. And we'll be back for the next one. So, good night to everyone, and we'll see you next session to see where we go next. See ya.
Bye.